Coronation Street stars Vicky Myers and Sydney Martin have revealed that Christmas on the Cobbles will be anything but joyful for Lisa and Betsy Swain, as the pair are left grappling with heartbreak following Carla Connor's sudden and unsettling disappearance. After her painful split from Lisa, Carla made the shock decision to leave Weatherfield during the festive period, apparently jetting off on a last-minute solo holiday to Lanzarote. To those watching from afar, it looked like closure. Sun-drenched selfies, carefully curated social media posts, and a quiet request for Lisa to remove her from the mortgage. Carla, it seemed, had moved on, but beneath the glossy images, something far more troubling was unfolding. Speaking exclusively to Inside Soap, Vicky Myers explained that Lisa is unraveling as Christmas approaches. Lisa's not coping very well, she admitted. She's trying to get hold of Carla, but she's either ignored or brushed off with the odd message. Then she sees these pictures online of Carla living her best life. It's heartbreaking. That distance leaves Lisa vulnerable, and increasingly reliant on Becky, whose influence tightens its grip as Lisa's world narrows. Becky is always there, always available, always guiding. Lisa, terrified of making the wrong move where Betsy is concerned, finds herself paralyzed. Yet one truth remains immovable: she still wants Carla back. For Betsy, the pain cuts even deeper. As Sydney Martin revealed, the teenager is struggling to process the loss of yet another parental figure. Carla wasn't just part of her life, she was family. She was mine, Betsy insists, her grief raw and unfiltered. She was mine, and now she's gone. What begins as absence soon becomes something heavier. Carla's disappearance, once a slow drip of unanswered texts, turns into a vast hollow at the center of their lives. Carla had promised to stay in touch, to sort the mortgage, to be there for Betsy in whatever way she could. Instead, the messages faded into nothing more than occasional digital postcards, smiling selfies that felt increasingly staged. Meanwhile, Becky sits quietly in the background, hands folded in practiced contrition. Her smile is soft, carefully curated, the kind that reassures while concealing sharp edges. Since the split, she has positioned herself as Lisa's anchor, answering midnight calls, offering support groups, turning up with lasagna and gentle suggestions that she, and she alone, is the safe option in a world that has fallen apart. You should stop checking her socials, Becky advises, her voice coated in concern. It'll only make things worse. Lisa bristles. I'm not stalking. Of course you're not, Becky replies smoothly, her eyes flicking to the phone in Lisa's hand. But Betsy sees it clearly. Retreating to the counter, scuffing her trainers against the lino, she finally voices what has been building for weeks. You're always with Becky now, she says. You always do what Becky says. The room falls quiet. That fragile calm is shattered when Roy Cropper pays a visit. Ever the steady presence, Roy arrives with Christmas cards and troubling news. He has made inquiries, simply out of concern. Carla never checked into the hotel. There is no booking. No record. No return flight. The photographs suddenly feel false, like a set piece hastily dismantled. Lisa's certainty collapses in on itself as Roy gently confirms what she is desperate not to hear. Carla never arrived in Lanzarote at all. So she's gone, Betsy whispers, curling into herself. She's not coming back. The word gone opens too many doors: lost, missing, vanished. Each one colder than the last. As neighbors rally with casseroles, theories, and well-meaning concern, the police step in. Questions are asked. Phone records checked, timelines scrutinized. Through it all, Becky is efficient, helpful, always one step ahead, calling hotels, offering logistics, smoothing every edge. At night, Christmas lights shimmer outside the terrace, mocking the silence within. Betsy crawls into Lisa's bed, pressing close, trying to fill the space Carla left behind. Do you think she's okay? She asks, again and again. I don't know, Lisa finally admits. But we'll find out. Unbeknownst to them, Becky's kitchen the next morning hums with guilt and calculation. She had never intended for Carla to vanish completely. A few planted photos, a gentle nudge, a harmless push to make the separation feel final. That was the plan. But plans have consequences. Becky tells herself she is saving Lisa, rescuing her from a relationship that would only end in more pain. Yet even as panic spreads across the street, a quiet, unsettling satisfaction blooms. Someone else has been removed from the picture. As Christmas Eve arrives, hope becomes a fragile thing, passed carefully between hands. Then, on Christmas morning, Roy returns with another piece of the puzzle. Carla had been trying to get away, not just from Weatherfield, but from Becky. She had confided her unease. She had wanted distance. Her final message carried doubt, not freedom. I need to figure things out. Don't make it harder. The room falls into stunned silence. Outside, Christmas continues. Inside, everything has shifted, and somewhere beyond the cobbles, Carla Connor remains missing.